All right, America, here we go again. I'm Mike Hunt with ACM Media, here to bring you the stuff that most other people don't want to talk about. Of course, tonight we have to talk about the good old NEA, the National Education Administration, or as I like to refer to as never educated anyone. But I guess they get to call themselves what they want to, for now anyway. Well, a spokesperson for the NEA has actually came out, and they're pressing really hard now, saying that they insist on teaching critical race theory in K through 12. Well, so much for it's only taught in colleges, and it's a selected class in colleges, huh? I guess we don't have anything to say about it anymore. They've actually came out and said that the teachers are the ones that decide what the students are taught, not the parents. Well, I've got news for you. It may not be the individual parent, but it is the United States overall, because after all, we are the ones paying your salaries. And you know what? Most of the United States does not want critical race theory taught in schools. So, I don't think you're going to get away with this one. And, while we're on the subject of pay, it is amazing to me, and I do mean truly amazing, how much I hear teachers whine and cry about they don't make enough money, they need raises. Do you know that the average teacher in the United States, K through 12, makes about $60,000 a year? There's some that are considerably higher, but I think the lowest one I've seen was about $48,000 a year, and that was quite the norm for the state that it was in. In fact, what it breaks down to is no matter where you look at in the United States, the median income for that state, well, a K through 12 public school teacher makes double that. So I don't think they're doing too damn bad. And if you really want to whine and cry about having to chip in to buy a $5 package of printer paper, you know what? Suck it up. Move on. I remember even back when I was in school, hell, you had the kids bring in all the Kleenex. You had the kids bring in fact, when my kids were going through school, I had to buy the Kleenex. I had to buy the hand sanitizers. I had to buy half the classroom supplies for my student, and every other student was just as responsible to bring that stuff in. And I also remember towards the end, as my children were in high school, we were also told to send in a package of printer paper and this and that. So again, if you got to buy a little bit of this or a little bit of that, suck it up. Because not only are they making double the median income for wherever they live, let's don't forget, folks, these teachers are only working 9 months a year. That's right. 3 months paid vacation's what that breaks down to. Sounds like a pretty damn good job all in all now, doesn't it? Let's go on a little bit farther than that. For all these public schools that are making double the median income per teacher, did you know that 1 in 10 of every one of these public schools is not even accredited? Yeah, how about that? So basically, your child's education is totally worthless, and they don't even have to tell you that. So you get to pay their taxes, and for most parents, this teacher is making 2 to 3 times what the parent is making, and now the parent has to chip in for the class supplies because the teacher doesn't want to have to go out and spend $5 on a package of paper, and they may not even be getting an education that is useful to them. I mean, if they want to go to college, they couldn't even go to college because they don't have a diploma from an accredited school. That's a problem, don't you think? So that's one notice to be on, is the idea of you need to check your public schools and even make sure that they're accredited, the ones that you're paying the government for, because it's not free. They can call it free public education. It's not free. It's paid for by the taxpayers. So you're still paying for it. It's just a roundabout way, and you just don't see where the money's gone. And the idea that these schools are still getting all their federal funding, state and local funding, but their education is worthless, that's a problem. That's a real problem. You know, that was brought up by a gentleman by the name of Mark Elgart. Now, I know that's not a big name. Most people aren't going to know who he is, but I'm going to tell you who he is. Mark Elgart is actually a guy that is of the AASA, which is basically the big gathering of the superintendents of all the schools, and he's the big shot in that. And he's the one himself bringing this up, saying that 1 in 10 schools is not accredited, and they're not even, divulging this information to the students. How can this not be public information? I think what we really need to do is, I guess I have to agree with the teachers on one point, and that is that we do need to hire more educators. And obviously, we need to hire more non-union educators. I think this NEA should be shut down. I can't believe what kind of a force this NEA has over the government and how they get to dictate what our children learn. I mean, for goodness sakes, these are the same people that are sitting there putting a drag queen in front of your kindergartners telling them about sex when the only thing they should be learning about is Lincoln Logs and ABCs and milk time for frickin', middle of the day before they get to nice nap. And you want to tell them about sex education? No. That's not going to happen. You guys need to stop that. And like I say, shut down this Gestapo known as the NEA and these other unions for the teachers, because all you teachers are sitting there worried about is how nice you had it during the COVID. And that's why none of them wanted to go back. They're all scared to go to the classrooms. No, they're not scared to go to their classrooms and teach students. I'll tell you what it is. They got really used to sitting there sucking down $60,000 plus a year to sit at home, play with their dogs, and play with their kids at home, and get on the computer for a couple hours a day and throw out a couple of lessons. That's really good money for doing that for 9 months out of the year. I mean, come on. I'm seriously, if I hear one more teacher crying about how little their pay is, I'm probably just going to frickin' explode. So, no. Just no. And I mean, these stats and stuff that I'm putting up here, I mean, basically, this is all factual. And the best part is the median income that's judged was put out by the Census Bureau, okay? That is where they show the median income of the United States. The median income for teachers, I mean, well, obviously the census doesn't carry that, but you know who does? Oh, the education systems. That is where this information came from. Not some random site, for all you liberals out there and idiots out there that might be trying to contest this. No, this came from one of the teachers' gov sites. Okay? I mean, they're boasting it. And, for the parents out there that are only making $12,000 and $15,000 a year, for you to sit there and whine to them about how much you're making, man, that is just sickening. Straight out sickening. What the hell is wrong with you? What are you mad because you're not super rich? You're not making 6 figures a year? Well, guess what? You got a teacher's certificate and a bachelor's degree. And that's only in some states. Some states don't even make you have a bachelor's degree, sad as that may be. So, and, I'll probably try to get a list together before the next video to let you people know which states that is that doesn't even insist on them having, a college degree. And all they make them do is have a teacher's certificate. pretty amazing. And I assure you that is the case in almost all schools when it comes to just your coaches and like your shop teachers and stuff like that. They do not have to have that higher education. I already know that. That's 90% of the United States. So reading, writing, arithmetic, and racism, I guess that's what, we're trying to teach. So no thanks. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Moving on, just in case any of you are wondering about that wonderful celebrity that I put up there for the thumbnail, and I'll bring that back up here now. This wonderful woman here, I'm sure you guys all heard about this story about the teacher that actually went and gave one of her 12-year-old students oral sex in class in front of all the other classmates during a sex education class. And I mean, yeah, thank goodness she was arrested. And, oh, wait a minute. That didn't make main news? Nobody else has really heard of this? Check into it. It's out there. 57-year-old woman went over and performed oral sex on a 12-year-old student in class. High on drugs, meth, alcohol, hell, they don't even know what all. And this is what the NEA is backing. I mean, you guys are sickening. Keep critical race theory out of K through 12. You don't get to do it. I hope y'all get fired. I really hope that they hire in a whole new generation of people that actually have a brain on their shoulders to go in and teach our kids something other than liberal thoughts, because that is so disgusting. But that is what 90% of these damn public schools are teaching anyway. They're nothing but a liberal institution. Give everything away. Everything should be free. No, everything should not be free. You should have to work for what you want and what you get. And if you make it good, then you know what? You can make it up to one of the top ends and you can be one of the elitists. There you go. That's how capitalism works, you idiots. There are plenty of people in this country that have came from nothing and went to something. So it won't be one of you dumb liberal teachers. Unless you're a college professor that's, well, to say the least, you're overpaid. So, I don't know. I think that colleges are charging too much, and rather than make college free for people, I think you could make it more reasonable by, I don't know, quit paying these college professors 6 figures a year. And because they're so overpaid, and maybe these retarded teachers that think that $60,000 a year isn't enough, maybe they'll understand then when a college professor is only making about, I don't know what they should be paid, about $30,000 or $40,000 a year. If you have a doctorate, cool, yeah, that gets you an extra $10,000 a year. But in my opinion, you're sure not worth any more than what most district attorneys are paid. That's a good one. Look that one up. To the thought that a district attorney, or at least an assistant district attorney, do you realize for the most part they're actually paid less than what a K through 12 teacher is paid? Put that in your pipe and smoke on it for a while. Guys, that's what I got for you. I'm moving on. It's Mike Hunt, ACM Media. We'll see you next time. You guys have a great evening. Bye-bye.